If you're like many organizations, you are seeing a lot of turnover with your employees at this moment in time. Specifically, this year and the past couple of years are what's being called the Great Resignation. And if you're dealing with this, you might be asking yourself, why are employees quitting? In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 reasons that people in your organization might be quitting according to research. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Preston, author of Harness Your Butterflies and creator of the Career Accelerator program, helping professionals just like you to create a fulfilling and exciting career. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for more information. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up so other people can see it. Now, according to a Gallup study done a couple years ago, they asked the question to a lot of employees, ex-employees and organizations, why are employees leaving? And in this research, Gallup found that there are 5 key things, 5 key reasons why employees are quitting. The first main reason, lack of trust in senior leadership. Now, if you ever remember being at the entry level of your organization and looking up and seeing your leadership team, you might have thought, wow, these people are really smart, these people know what they're doing. The longer that you stay at your organization, you might see some shady stuff happening or dishonest behavior, and starts to erode trust at the middle level of management and below, sometimes the senior level of management as well. But a lot of people are quitting because they don't trust their organizational leadership. Now, what is the solution to that? If you are a senior leader, you're someone who works with a senior leader, and you're seeing that this is something that's happening at your organization, the biggest thing that you can do is try to build trust by being honest and transparent, whatever that looks like for your organization. That includes things like taking inventory of what's happening in your organization and telling people that you're listening to your feedback and then actually acting on that feedback. The second major reason why people are quitting, poor work-life balance. Now, especially over the past couple years, it's been really difficult for a lot of people to separate work and life, especially when they're working remotely and work and life are constantly intermixed. But it's important from an organizational standpoint to make sure that people are differentiating what is their personal time and what is their work time. A lot of times organizations will say, the more work that you do for us, the better, because it's free. You know, if you're paying people by the salary, by the year, the more hours they work, you don't actually have to pay them overtime because they're paid by salary. But the problem with that is when people have an increased stress level, they tend to burn out. And once you get a burned out employee, it really is difficult for that person to kind of regain their excitement for the job and kind of want to work again within the organization, to work harder, to make things happen, to be more creative. And so as an organization, the solution to this is to make sure that you're setting strict, maybe not strict, but you're setting realistic expectations about people's work and life balance. If they're taking a vacation, you don't need to call them, you don't need to email them, they're on vacation, they're on holiday. But little things like that, of creating a culture within your organization of, take your time, take your personal time, recoup, get back to, being healthy, excited about your job, and then come to work and then perform based on, your excitement level once you've kind of had that time off. Other ways to do this is to create kind of a flexible working schedule. So if people come into the office, let's say maybe they don't get in exactly at 8 o'clock or exactly at 9 o'clock, but they might get in at 9:30 and leave at 6:30. But kind of creating those flexible working environments for people so that they're able to incorporate their life better into their jobs and be able to kind of balance everything as they go. The third thing, way too much stress. This could be something like people feeling like they can't get a hold of their workload because just the amount of work that they have. And stress is a problem because it can lead to an excess number of sick days if people have poor immune health because of their stress, poor productivity, and just low quality of work. The solution to this, don't treat every project like it's the end of the world. You don't need to constantly turn up the pressure on your employees if it isn't required. Now, sometimes stress is necessary or it's part of the work if something big is happening, but really, if you think about every project as like, it needs to happen, it's urgent, everything depends on this, unless you're a brain surgeon, it doesn't really require that. A lot of people, a lot of office work specifically, people need to take a step back, and this is the solution to this specific problem, is realize where your work fits into the grand context of everything that's going on. If it's, an email didn't get sent out at a certain time, okay, let's fix that process, but you don't need to add extra pressure every single time because it really erodes your team and it makes those types of accidents or types of incidences more likely to occur because people are stressed and they're walking on eggshells. The fourth thing that is the reason that people are leaving according to research is poor pay and benefits. Now this one's pretty obvious. If you're not paying people a lot and they don't really get good benefits from where you're working, they're gonna find another job. And I guess the solution to this is figuring out how to be more competitive either with your pay rates or your benefits to allow people to have more flexibility in their roles, or if you can compensate them more, great. Sometimes that's not even an option, but you can figure out how to get extra benefits, extra perks for people, whether it be flexible working hours, flexible space, remote work options. All of that stuff is super easy to implement within your organization to make sure that people are feeling more satisfied within their roles. And the last thing, number 5, the reason that people are leaving is too much overmanagement or micromanagement. Now, usually the stereotype in the industry is that people don't leave jobs, they leave bad bosses. And this is actually true according to research. People who don't get along with their supervisor or feel like they're being too micromanaged will look for another job. Now, this is an obvious thing. If you are trying to solve this problem within your organization, the easiest way that you can do this is to make sure that your managers are trained, because believe it or not, a lot of people who are in management roles haven't actually been trained on how to manage teams. They just try to do kind of what they've seen other managers do. And a lot of times if they are kind of a person who likes a tactical or practical list of tasks, this can turn easily into micromanagement or your employees feeling like they don't have enough freedom to implement things the way that they want. So the easiest way to deal with a bad boss, a micromanager, is to make sure that you're giving them the proper tools and the proper training to make sure that they know how to manage. That's all I have for this video. If you found it helpful, leave a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. I have new videos every Tuesday. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.